This video is a short video taking you through some of the features of my online class that I redesigned. One of the major changes I made here on the home page was to the page banner. I used to have a very large eye-catching graphic going across the top. It was just like a row of beautiful books, which I thought was very eye-catching. But it would download. It would download very slowly if students were using older technology, and then it would appear distorted if the student was using like a mobile device. So instead, I just took it off and made this just very clean and simple with just the course name and then my information, because I want it to be very prominently displayed on how the student can contact me, since this is a fully online class and they don't have the option of going to a classroom to meet with me several days a week. So they need to know this information. I also have a little picture to put a face with a name, and then a welcome video that they can watch that kind of is like my beginning of the semester welcome message that I would give in my in-person classes, and it just introduces me and the course and why I'm teaching it and a little bit about how the course works as well. Always on the home page are these course modules, my announcements. It's here at the very first because I use the announcements to post the list of weekly assignments. I also used it to post information about assignments if due dates change or requirements change, or if I'm getting a lot of emails about questions about something, then I'll just post a general announcement to the class here. So since I try to be very active with my online classes on the announcements, then that's why I have this here prominently displayed. And then also a button up here for my students using mobile devices. When I logged on to the Blackboard app myself, I noticed it was very hard when there were announcements displayed here. Of course, this course is not live, but when it is live, there'll be links right here, and it was very hard to click on the link to view that announcement if you were on a mobile device, because the screen size is so small and it compresses the text. So I found that including a button here with the announcements made it easier for students on a device with a smaller screen size to pull up the announcements and view them. Also on the homepage are the course modules for my calendar, alerts, and needs attention. I find that for my students, it's most helpful to make it very clear what assignments are upcoming, just like you would make an announcement, a verbal announcement in class that Essay 3 is going to be due next course period. So that's what I use this My Calendar for, to alert students to upcoming due dates. And also if they've fallen behind, if they have an assignment that needs attention, if they haven't submitted it yet and it's about to be due, then this alerts them to that. And then if they have anything that's past due, or if they have been flagged by the system in this early warning system area for not logging on to Blackboard frequently or not participating and posting discussion board posts, then the rules that I put in place here will alert the students to that, so they'll know that that's something that they need to take care of. That they're in danger of failing because of that. So these notifications are very clear and large on the home page for the online students. A modification that I made for my students using mobile devices was to put separators in between the buttons of my navigation bars, so it would be easier to click on the individual ones. But I have found in the newest app that Blackboard has put out that this is no longer an issue, that I could actually take these dividers off, because when I view the menu bar in the mobile app, it actually puts creates an easier to navigate menu bar over here beside the one that I created that's designed for people using touchscreens. So I could actually take these dividers out since that's no longer an issue, but I kind of like the way that they're grouped. It kind of lets the students know the things that kind of go together, like communication, the syllabus and the calendar and just course information, homepage and announcements. So I haven't quite decided if I want to totally get rid of these separators because I like the way that they're grouped. Uh, since my course is fully online, I wanted to indicate to the student where they need to go first for their course materials. So I just use the friendly little start here because when students log on to the course for the first time, it can be overwhelming, all the information and the different sections of the course that are available. So I wanted it to be very clear to the fully online student that doesn't have me in front of them going, okay, click here first, where they need to go first when they log in on the first day of the course. So go here to start here, and this is just the basic necessary information for the course that they need to know. Most importantly, that it's fully online. If they think they've signed up for an in-person class or a hybrid class, they need to make changes to their schedule because they actually are in a fully online course, so that's very prominent. And then whom to contact if they have a problem with the course, my email if they've got a technical problem. I try to direct them to tech support, so I'm not spending a lot of time answering tech questions, which I still end up doing. But anyways, that's here for them so that they have that information. And then tips for success for an online class and just some other housekeeping information that they need to be successful in the course. Then my syllabus and the various quizzes that go along with the syllabus. And I always have like an attendance and participation learning module along with my syllabus because attendance and participation in an online course is probably going to be so different from what they've experienced before, maybe in high school or in in-person courses. So I try to lay it out very clearly, my expectations and how they'll be counted for their attendance. Next is the calendar with due dates clearly marked, and these are all the classes I'm teaching this semester. They're color-coded. The students wouldn't see all this. They would just see their class, but this is showing up on this one since I'm the instructor. But anyways, it clearly lays out when the due dates are for their major assignments so they can click forward in the semester and see when things are due. Online orientation, if they go to this link, it will take them through an orientation on how to use Blackboard and then a student orientation quiz. And I try to set this up that they have to pass this before they can complete any other assignments because otherwise they might just skip through it or not take it and try to go in and submit an assignment and they don't have that knowledge yet. Because they haven't watched the student orientation videos for Blackboard. So I make this the beginning point for all other assignments, that they have to pass this to continue on with the course. So I can ensure that at least they have basic knowledge of how to use Blackboard, which makes my life a little bit easier, that I'm not having to teach them how to use Blackboard along with their course materials like in week 5. That is the hope. It doesn't always work out like that, but that is the hope. Next is learning modules, and this has my major course materials for the class, and I divide it up by topics. And a major change that I made this semester was in previous semesters I had like a very eye-catching graphic that kind of in a nutshell and captured what this learning module was about. But I found that the graphics weren't displaying on all devices well, and that it really didn't help students besides, oh, it's a picture of a scale and it's got for and against. Oh, look, it's kind of like a visual representation of an argument. It really didn't help them understand what was in the learning module, where they could find their assignments, etc. So I took it out, and instead I just kind of summed up what they would find inside the learning module. And I found I actually started doing that in the middle of this semester, and I found it significantly reduced the number of questions that I had on where assignments were and where to go find like certain readings. And just this just very simple change has really helped me utilize my time better as an online instructor. And another thing, I had some really great student feedback. I was using, I kind of try to color code everything to make it clear, like, oh, look, that's a quiz, or this is an assignment, or that's a reading. And so I was using pink, like this hot pink that Blackboard has in the color choices to denote if something was a quiz. And I had a student complain to me that the pink hurt her eyes. It kind of had like a blurry effect and it seemed to vibrate. And, I was kind of looking at it for myself and I was like, it kind of does. I could see that where that would bother somebody, especially if you had vision problems. So I took it out for this more subdued, kind of like a brownish red, kind of more like a maroon. And that seemed to work better, at least for her and her eyes. But I do try to color code things. I know that sounds simplistic, but that really helps for online students to just quickly see, like on their list of assignments, okay, I got a quiz, I got an assignment, I've got these readings, etc. And then I find it's better to organize my course materials into these learning modules, especially if students are using a device with a smaller screen size. And then, and as well, than using like a folder, because the learning modules have this wonderful table of contents where students can quickly see what the learning module contains. Say, for instance, say they've already actually read all this before and they just need to quickly find the quiz. Then it takes them there, or they need to watch this video again, how to write an argument essay. And I also, whenever possible, try to use the video mashups for YouTube, because it has this nice little thumbnail for a video, and when students are watching it on a mobile device as well, this nice compressed screen transitions nicely to play on a mobile device. So that's another great feature that I try to use for students using smaller screens. I have my essays in this section, and the essay folder not only contains the learning module with the essay guidelines and instructions, but it also has the assignments that go along with the essay. For instance, for essay 1, the student has to first submit a proposal detailing the topic that they want to research, why they're interested in researching this topic, and the intended audience for their essay. I use adaptive release in Blackboard to make sure that the student has submitted a proposal and had it approved by me before they can move on to the outline, and then all of the different assignments that lead up to the final draft, like the proposal, the outline, the rough draft, the peer review reflection. All of those have to be completed before the final draft assignment becomes available for them. So I heavily utilize adaptive release to make sure that the first step is complete before they try to submit the larger project. Next, I have my journal section, and these are set to private. So this is where the student can privately reflect on the course content and our learning materials. And then I have the our discussion section where the students can publicly discuss with each other about the learning content and the activities and etc. And then I have a public help board that I try to have students post on. To minimize getting several questions about the same problem. Instead, hopefully somebody will post on here and it helps the other people that were confused as well. Next, I have my office hour chat, my email, and then the students' grades section. And then finally, I have just additional resources that the student can use that I find helpful for an English class. And then my feedback and evaluation section there at the end, because that usually doesn't come to play at the end, but hopefully the student from time to time will leave me feedback here in this anonymous discussion board. I can't put their name with it, about maybe concerns that they have about the class or problems with the course design to help me But anyways, that's my online class design, and those are some of the things that I made modifications for based on my readings that I did.